So listen, we want to present to you this amazing evening today, Dr. Robert Watkins. Listen, I had him on my show it's a few minutes ago, and just in that brief amount of time, I learned so much because, just growing up, and our people, a lot of us, I didn't have any, rich people in my family growing up. So when I started making money when I was in my 20s, I didn't know what to do with it. Think about it. That's the reason why a lot of us don't have generational wealth is because of education. So we're really looking forward to it. So this is all about building wealth and legacy. And also big shout out to Honda of South Miami for our Penthouse Performance Studios. And thank you to Jerk Chicken for providing tonight's food. I'll give it up. Even though y'all ran out of shrimp before I got up here, so y'all need to give me some shrimp because I don't be eating me. But that's just me, just doing what I do, all right? So are you guys ready? All right, is Dr. Watkins available? All right, he's coming up, so this is the time where I'm just going to talk, y'all, and act like ain't nothing else going on, all right? There it is, all right? So listen, y'all give it also for DJ Sco. All right, just a quick question. How many of y'all have a 401k? Okay, that's good. Now, how many of y'all are in the financial situation that you want to be in? And that's why we're here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Dr. Robert Watkins.
Boy, I'm in South Florida, and that's how y'all gonna treat me? All right, let's stand to our feet real quick. I believe when generational wealth comes to you, it's going to come to your purpose. And I want you to get used to what's getting ready to happen to you. I want you to high-five 3 people and say, you look good, new billionaire. Get used to it. Get used to it. Yes. Now I want you to high-five 3 more people. Say, good evening, new CEO. Get used to it. Now, last thing I want you to do, I want you to shake your neighbor's hand and look them straight in the eye. Shake your neighbor's hand, just look and find it, and repeat after me. Say, neighbor, can I borrow $20? Well, that's the last time you're going to have to borrow money after tonight. You're going to be the lender, no longer the borrower. Who's ready to change their life financially? Well, I'm talking to the right people. Yes. Well, I'm Robert J. Watkins, and thank you for this wonderful occasion. There's a guy by the name of Elroy Smith who is a radio god, and he put all this together. We've done this in Atlanta and Tampa, Florida, and Jacksonville and Orlando and many other places, but tonight is special because you press your way to get here. And so that means that there's something that you know that you're supposed to be doing and you're supposed to have. So tonight really is not even about you. It's about your children's children. It's about generational wealth. Now, I know you got pressure, you got financial pressure, and the number one reason why people get divorced because of financial pressure, the number one reason why people end up with diabetes and they get sick because of stress, and it exacerbates things, but all that's going to be gone tonight. So one time I want you to high-five 3 more people before you take your seat and say, you look good, debt-free neighbor. Let me see my phone there, Frank. Frank. What's that phone? Use your phone, okay? Now we're going to talk about a lot of good things tonight. We're going to talk about money. Someone shout money. Money. Someone shout business. Business. Someone shout vision. Vision. Real estate. Inheritance. Gold. Silver. Wealth. Do you know where those words came from? They came from God. God made up those words for his people. It wasn't some smart Wall Street guy who came up with the word business. That was God's idea. God's idea was for you to have what you need. Possessions, that was God's idea. Gold, that was God's idea. When we saw gold, the first time we saw gold, it was God showing Adam where the gold was in the Garden of Eden. And so there's some things that God wants to show you, that there's a Garden of Eden for you and for your children and your children's children. And I'm going to be very practical tonight, and then I'm only going to talk for a few minutes, and I want you to, oh yeah, I need to have this. then I want to have a discussion with you. Because I'm here to change your life through empowerment and through financial literacy. But we want to do it through real stories so you can actually get it. Now, my story is, I grew up in an orphanage. I was born a ward of the state of Michigan. I was orphan number 0994783. They knew that before they even knew my name. I didn't know who my birth mother was, didn't know who my birth father was until about 3 years ago. But I grew up financially insecure. And financial insecurity leads to other things, and feeling inadequacy, feel like you don't matter, feel like you don't measure up. It feels like you're not good enough. It feels like they're going to find out that, man, I'm really not who I say I am. How do you talk to women when you're broke? You can only play a game for so long. Nobody wants to talk to a broke man. Become invisible. And then if you have a life event, if you have a divorce, or you have, or you go through bankruptcy, or you lose your house or repossession, then you really become invisible. And then you put in time out, and then nobody wants to deal with the guy who's got a 550 credit score. You can't even get a car. And if you do manage to get a car, you're paying 30% interest, and now more than half of that is you're working for a car. And so these are things that many adults deal with because we didn't learn about what we're going to learn about tonight. We didn't learn about how to grow money. The number one skill that everybody needs to have is the skill of raising money. Well, how do you do that? You mean begging for money? Because most of us define success as going to the bank and getting a loan. The only thing a bank can do for me right now is cash my check. Wealthy people don't go to the bank looking for a loan. You know how banks make money? Only one way, by giving loans. And so giving a loan is not success. Success is you leveraging the banks. Success is leveraging the money you have. What is leverage? We're going to talk about that. So now, if I go to the bank and give the bank $100 and put it into a savings account, we think that, wow, I'm getting 2% interest on my money. As opposed to, if I put this $100 in Bank of America, I want a line of credit for $100. That's called leveraging your money and leveraging the bank. We didn't even know that was even a thing. So now I protect my principal, the $100. I go to the bank and say, I want a line of credit for $100. What am I going to do with $100? Am I going to go buy some new red bottom shoes? Am I going to go get my hair did? Some of us might. So we first of all have to understand the difference between wealth and riches. Because the strategies that I'm going to give you tonight is going to help your credit. It's going to help you get out of debt. It's going to help you make more money. It's going to help you be free. It's going to help you make somebody else free. Because it's not about paying off your house. It's about paying off somebody else's house. Because somebody had to introduce the idea to me that I can live mortgage free. That I can live in a house that I don't have any payments. And people in South Florida, 40% of their income goes to housing. We really have a housing crisis. So how can you get ahead when you're working and 40% of every dollar that you bring in goes to a mortgage? And right now, in South Florida, we have more renters than homeowners. Because there's really no middle class. Because the average income is $94,000 here in South Florida. But yet 25% live in poverty, below the poverty line. So we're going to end that tonight. Somebody said that's not going to belong to me. Now, if you learn something, I want you to say, I got it, I got it, I got it. Let's practice. All right, I'm in the right group. So let's give it up for our wonderful team here at this radio station here at this the Penthouse, right? Welcome to the Penthouse. Amen. I wish it was my penthouse, but it's not my penthouse. We just written it for 1 minute. All right, wealth and legacy. Before we go on, let's talk first of all, and I think this works. Is it working? Uh-oh, I'm not plugged in. Can we get this plugged in? They got a clicker? Let's talk about the difference between wealth and riches. Someone shout wealth. riches. Wealth is not money. Wealth is not anything tangible. You can't see wealth. Wealth is what you hand down from generation to generation. Wealth is your vision. Wealth is your purpose. Wealth is how God made you. Wealth is your idea. That's wealth. You can't depreciate wealth. Wealth grows from generation to generation. It only grows in value, wealth. We look at a big house and we say, well, that's wealth. That's not wealth, that's riches. Riches are things that we stress out over, getting a car, getting a house. Think tangible things. But the things that God placed on the inside of you, that is wealth. Now, riches, money, houses, cars, red-bottom shoes, 30 cents each weaves, are all attracted to one thing, your wealth. So where does your wealth start? On the inside of you. That's why the world spends a lot of time trying to make you feel insecure about your ideas, about your identity. Your identity is your wealth. Money, houses, and cars are attracted to purpose. Your purpose, your identity, your wealth. So when you write down your secret recipe, when you write down the recipe for your business, the recipe for your restaurant, at that point, you're already wealthy. Now, houses, cars, and everything else, everything that's tangible is attracted to that one thing, that recipe that you wrote down. That's why I give you another scripture. That's why he said to write the vision down and make it plain upon tables so that he that reads it can run with it. And so your vision, that is wealth. And so now I am not going after riches tonight. I'm going after my wealth. Because I'm not trying to get wealthy. What? I'm already wealthy. Someone shout, I'm already wealthy. A wealthy mindset says, I can do all things. A wealthy mindset says, I can be a millionaire. A wealthy mindset says, I can start a business and watch it grow. A wealthy mindset says, I can grow this $100 to $500 to $1,000. A wealthy mindset will attract things to you. But if you don't have a wealthy mindset, if you don't know that you're already wealthy, you'll ignore the wealth and then you start going out and getting a job just to cover the bills. So now we spend a lifetime going after riches, and anything you do for money will stress you out. I'm bald-headed today because I've been chasing money all my life. Because anything you do for money will stress you out. But anything you do out of your heart, anything you do because it's your purpose, you won't quit when things get hard. And so now the paradigm shift in your life has to be this. Okay. I got to sign in? Oh. There it is. All right. That's a handsome guy right there. So we're talking about the difference between wealth and riches. And I'll introduce myself a little bit later. Let's talk about this. So you have wealth already on the inside of you. How many like Kentucky Fried Chicken? Somebody said, boy, I'm black. Of course I do. Colonel Sanders in the 30s was a cook on a train on his way to divorce court. He was broke. And he wrote down what we know as the secret recipe. At that point, he was already wealthy. At that point. See, we think that the wealth of Kentucky Fried Chicken, we think it's the real estate, we think it's the money, we think it's the income, we think it's the marketing. All of that is attracted to one thing, the secret recipe. The money, the houses, the people, the status, everything that you want to happen in your life, the fame, all the things that you need to happen to take care of your children and your children's children, it's all attracted to one thing, the secret recipe. I met a guy by the name of Truett Cathy before he died in Atlanta. And he just wanted to take care of his family. And he became a billionaire off of a chicken sandwich. Where I'm from, we call them chicken sandwiches. And he started a little company called Chick-fil-A. off of a chicken sandwich. It was something that just came out of him. It was like, what can you do? There was something that was in him. Well, I like chicken sandwiches. And the vision was, I just want to take care of my sons. And so now what happened? He wrote down a recipe. At that point, he was already wealthy. So that's where we get stuck. So how do we understand our wealth and then allow riches to come forth? Are you guys ready for this? How many wealthy people am I talking to tonight? Everybody say, I got it, I got it, I got it. Somebody say, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy. Why? It's on the inside of you. So right now, over these next few minutes, we're going to unlock this wealth that you were born with. We're going to unlock this wealth that the world will try to make you insecure about. Try to say that you're not good enough, and it's been on the inside of you all the time. So we're not looking out here tonight. We're looking in here tonight. All right. So who am I? I'm the CEO of Conquer Worldwide. For 25 years, helping families build wealth, finance millions of dollars, structured hundreds of long-term profitable deals, wrote a best-selling book called Never Chase a Paycheck Again. I mentor thousands of people, over 17,000 people in our organization. And we have one objective, and it's to make everybody wealthy and rich. Everybody in front of me so they can go out and make a mark that cannot be erased. And I believe I'm talking to those people tonight. Let me give you a quick story so you understand. This beautiful lady right here, the same thing that's going to happen to you. Her name is Miss Liberta. When Miss Liberta came into my office downtown Atlanta in the SunTrust building, she was a janitor for a local elementary school. And she had worked there for 28 years. She was going to retire 2 years later, and they fired her. And she came into my office, and she was crying. I had my staff there. We said, Miss Liberta, what's going on? She said, they fired me. And I said, well, tell me about your life. And she began to tell me how she outlived 2 husbands, and they both died. And she told me that she had 3 sons, and they told her to go down and just retire and just stay home. But she was broke. And we asked her one life question, the same question I'm going to ask you tonight, that changed everything for Miss Liberta. They were coming to take her house. She was in $30,000 in credit card debt. She couldn't even afford food. And we said, Miss Liberta, what is your purpose? What do you believe that you were born to do? What we're trying to do? We were trying to get the wealth out of her. And what she said shocked us. She's 74 years old, black woman. She said, I believe that I'm supposed to open a bed and breakfast business. And we said, have you ever ran a hospitality company before? No. Have you ever owned commercial real estate before? She said, no. I said, Miss Liberta, do you have any money? No. Negro? She literally called me that. And so she was getting more and more frustrated because she said, I just need some money. But we began to probe and said, why do you believe that you're supposed to own a bread and business company? Bread and bread. What did I say? I've been driving all day. She said when she was a little girl, her mom took her to one, and she never forgot it. And she said, all I want to do is serve people. I want to cook for company, for couples who come to my bread and breakfast business. And she said something that really shocked all of us. She said, I want couples to come to my business and have all the sex they can never possibly do in my... Miss Liberta. And so here's what we told Miss Liberta. This is where most people stop. Okay, you believe that's who you are. So if you go out and found a facility, Miss Liberta, then we'll help you. That's where most people stop right there. We said if you will raise your credit score from where you are to 800, we'll help you. That's when we never see people anymore. And she left out. She ran out of that office. I didn't think I'd see her again. She literally came back 4 months later. She said, Dr. Watkins, I found the facility. You did? She said, it's in Fairburn, Georgia. It is. I said, how much is it? She said, $875,000. I said, you got $875,000? She said, no, Negro. She said, I don't have it. I said, But then she said, my credit score is 850. She did her part. And so now I said, what is your family saying? They're saying that my family is not supporting me. My family, they don't believe in it. My family say that I should just kind of live until I die. And so now, Miss Liberta, here's what we need you to do. We got her $127,000. We made an investment in Miss Liberta. She did what was right with the money, because she could have went out and bought a brand new Benz. She invested into her dream with no experience, but now she's got some capital now. Now she's building wealth. You see, the wealth was already inside of her. The money now was just confirmation of what was already inside of her. So she had to do the right thing with what she had. You see, many people are not doing the right thing with what they have. That's why they're in the position that they're in. Because we're not good stewards over the $35,000 we make right now. That's why we're living month to month. Mr. Berta did what was right. She opened up that bread and business. She opened it up, and she got clients that come in. And guess what? The 3 sons that told her to go and sit down someplace is now working for her full time. And now Miss Liberta now is the largest tither in her church. She's on the county commission. She is doing what she was birthed to do, because she did her part. But she first of all had to remember my wealth. I'm already wealthy. Did you guys get anything out of that? Am I doing something? Somebody clap for Miss Liberta. And so now Miss Liberta, her kids and grandchildren work for her. That is generational wealth. Generational wealth happens when you can pass down something. Let's go on to the next thing here. How can you build a healthy credit score? Let me give you another story. This is Jonathan Young. Jonathan Young came to our office. He had cancer. They fired him. He was also a janitor, somebody who did floors. See, there's something already in your life that we can turn into wealth. And so when they fired him, he had health care bills. His wife had health care bills. And life looked very tight. Life was hard. Life was stressful. And we said, well, what have you been doing for the last 30 years? You say, anything that you've been doing for 10 years or more, you're an expert in it. He said, well, I just been doing floors. You see, sometimes you minimize what you already been doing, what you're an expert in. And we said, here's what we need you to do. We're giving him a strategy now. I want you to go home and get a map and draw a circle, a 10-mile radius around your house. And I want you to list every high school, every middle school, every hospital, every office building. And I want you to call the property manager in those facilities. And I want you to tell them about your experience. I said, tell me about floors. Man, he lit up. For 20 minutes, he talked about hardwood floors and marble floors, and don't use water here, don't use this kind of chemical here, and don't do this there, and don't use, he knew everything possible about floors. I said, that's what I want you to tell those property managers. We started an LLC, a company, because the only way to build wealth in America, there's only one way, and that's through business. That's through an LLC, a corporation. Everybody here should own a corporation. And he started a limited liability corporation. And he began to tell all those property managers within a 10-mile radius of his house about how much floors should be maintained and how he is the guy to do it. Long story short, he hired 6 people. Last year I talked to him. They did $2 million doing floors, something that was already in his life that he took for granted. Something that Miss Liberta was already there, that was hidden, that she just ignored because the world says that you are just not that. The world told me I was just an orphan. The world told me that I was not supposed to make it beyond 17 years old, and I was living in Detroit. And I was young and black. And they said I was no good. And they began to build well, here's what really something. My name was on a list in 10th grade as likely to go to prison. And me and 10 of my friends, was on that list. They actually built a prison expecting us to go to prison until I found my wealth. And see, there's a wealthy place for you. He found his wealth. He found a wealthy place, something that was already inside of you. So you are already an expert. You're wealthy. You got purpose. You got identity. And you're on your way someplace with your bad self. Someone shout, I got it, I got it. Do you really got it? Can we give him a round of applause? There's a couple of stories. Let's go to the next one. Are you going to do it? So how can you turn this profit? Let's go a little bit deeper now. Are you getting anything out of this? No, because when we start talking about money now money is not going to rule your life. Because we can get you $1 million right now, but after you buy a house, you buy mama a house. After you get all those 10,000 Jordans, you buy 5 cars, you broke by Friday. So now when money shows up now, you see money is just a tool. It's just a tool to take care of your family. It's a tool to advance your purpose. It's just a tool for you not to go out and show out and talk about how blessed you are and how rich you are. It's just a tool to fulfill your identity. Go to the next slide there. Let's go to the next one. And I want to give you a framework now before we talk about wealth. How do you change your financial life? This is a framework right here. First of all, fix your credit. The air is different. The conversation is different with an 800 credit score. With a 700 credit score right now, I own a financial company. With a 700 credit score, and if you did your taxes, we can get you $300,000, $400,000. The conversation is different. All you need is a business. All you need to do is tell us, what are you going to do with the money? Well, I don't know. You're not getting my money. Oh, I'm going to take this money. I'm going to open up this salon. I'm going to open up a pool company. I'm going to open up a restaurant. These ribs everybody been bragging about, I'm about to open up a business. I can do hair better than anybody. Yeah. And when you going to pay me back? Well, give me 3 years. How much money you going to make me? I'm going to make you 20%. Let's talk. Why? Well, where does it start? Well, the reason why, the first thing when you go buy a house, or you go buy a car, or you go try to get a business loan, the first thing they ask for is your credit, because they want to know is, if you jacked up Macy's, you may jack us up. We just want to see what kind of steward you are. We know you don't have the money, but what kind of steward you are. So are you going to take the money and just try to correct some old things that you now regret? Are you going to try to go get all the women you can get now because you got a new car? You're going to go and brag to all of your friends now and get everything. So what are you going to do with the money? So now you got to have some financial discipline. That's all the credit score says. You're not your credit score. But it just shows that you have some discipline with the money you do have. Well, you don't know what they did to me. They stole money from me. Okay, everybody has a sad story. We don't want your sad story. Work on it. Turn to your neighbor and say, work on it. Work on it. So then, once you work on it, then stabilize your personal revenue. Stabilize that. What does that mean? Nobody wants to deal with anyone who's unpredictable. Money follows productivity and things that are predictable. Are you predictable? Are you going to be able to take this $300,000, put it into your business, and you're going to work the business? Are you predictable, or are you unstable? And so now you've got to figure out how to make sure that my life is stable. You see, if you hang around 9 broke people, guess who'll be the 10th one? But if you hang around 9 wealthy-minded people, then you got a chance. And so now there may be some people that you may have to kick out your life for a season. There may be some old habits that you do. When you get your check, the first thing you do is go to the club. You got to change that. Or maybe the first thing you do when you get your check, man, is whatever it is, you got to change those old habits. You got to stabilize your life. You might have to have the next year of just Netflix. I spent all of 2014 just in the house watching TV. You know why? I was trying to stabilize my life. Because no one's going to invest in anyone that's unstable. As a matter of fact, I love what the Bible says that. It says a man who's unstable is what? Who knows the Bible? What? He's double-minded. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So you got two minds. So you need to make up your mind tonight, I'm going to have a disciplined financial life. Which means now no has to become a big word in your life. And you know who you have to say no to more than anybody else? Yourself. Someone say no. That's the first road to financial discipline. And then structure your life properly. The reason why limited liabilities companies are great because you avoid double taxation. The reason why law firms and accounting firms, the reason why they're LLCs, because first of all, they're easy to partner. You avoid double taxation. And if somebody sues you, it protects your personal assets. But more importantly, you can now acquire things through your LLC. You can now go to the bank and get a line of credit through your company. And so now you have to structure your life, which means what is it that you're trying to do? And so if you don't have the right structure, we already know if we give you $300,000 and you don't have any structure, we know that money's going to be gone in the next 3 to 4 months. So when you have a structure and a plan, now money is attracted to structure. And so now if the White House does something crazy, it's not going to affect you because you're protected, because you have a structure. You have a facility that houses it. And when you have money in the facility, it has a purpose. You know where it's going. So now you can plan it. Now you can project out where it's going to go. And more importantly, you can understand when the money's coming back. It's called return on investment. So every dollar has a purpose. When I give money $1, I need $5 to come back. If not, I'm going to go broke. The reason why service companies really during the Great Recession, why they went out of business, it wasn't because the business wasn't there. It's because they all had lines of credit. So your law firm, the accounting firm, service business companies, taxi companies, they all live off of a line of credit. So why is that so important? Because if you have $1, that's your principal, and you have to spend your principal to eat, you have to spend your principal on housing, you have to spend your principal on living, then you can't get ahead. So you have to leverage, someone shout leverage. You have to look at your money and say, how can I leverage this to get more money? Which means now my money is going to stay put. My paycheck is going to stay put. So if I get $500 this Friday, I want that money to stay put, which means now I have to have another source that I leverage so that $500 can stay there. That's called building wealth. There's a guy that I had called, and when I was going to buy this Walmart building in Douglasville, Georgia, and I called Walmart, and I said, I'd like to buy this building that you have in Douglasville, Georgia. They said, well, you can't buy it. I said, what do you mean I can't buy it? You're Walmart, right? See, Walmart had moved out of that building, and they built a super Walmart down the street. You ever seen those 24-hour Walmarts? And so I was going to buy it. It was an 88,000 square foot warehouse. And they came, and I said, I can't buy it. Why not? And they gave me the number of a guy who owns it. And I called that number, and this guy answered the phone. He said, hello? I said, hello? I said, you own that Walmart in Douglasville, Georgia? He said, I sure do. I said, well, how do you own it? He said, that's none of your business. I said, well, who are you? He said, well, who are you? We argued on the phone for 5 minutes. And come to find out, his great-great-grandfather bought the land in 1890, gave it to his son gave it to his son gave it to his son. Walmart came knocking on the door saying, can we buy your land? We want to build a Walmart on your land. He said, no, I can't sell you the land, but I can lease you the land. He leased Walmart the land for $325,000 per month for 20 years off of something that was already in his family. Well, that's scriptural because he's a Jewish gentleman. Because the Bible says in Deuteronomy to possess the land, but then it says don't sell the land. That's why you can't buy land from a Jewish guy. It's not racist, it's spiritual. Because now he leased the land for $325,000 per month for 20 years. And even though Walmart moved out of that building and was there for 15 years, they still owed him $325,000 for 5 more years. And I said, well, what are you doing all that money? He said, none of your business. And he began to tell me how many children that he has sent to college anonymously. Tens of thousands have gone to college through his scholarships. He's built hospitals. He's built subdivisions. He's done wonderful things off of some land. What's the difference? Many of us will look at that land instead of looking at it as a wealth builder, as someone to say, this is about my children. And then most of us will lose it to taxes. Or we look at it like it has no value. And I'm telling you, you have value. The things, the assets in your life have value. There's great things. There's a lady, I don't know why I keep talking about Atlanta. She can make cakes. And she loved making people smile. And so she started off, again, in debt. She started off not having a lot of money, but there's something that she loved to do. Her wealth was making people smile. And she did it by making pies. And so what she was doing, she was making pies, and she would go downtown Atlanta to those office towers downtown, and she would give away slices of cake and slices of pies. And people were eating those pieces of cake, and people were loving it. They said, wow, where can I get this? She said, well, I may come back tomorrow, I may not come back tomorrow. She was 70-something years old. She did what I just told you. She fixed her credit. She stabilized her revenue. She structured her life properly. I got big lips, y'all. So do you. And you get paid to talk. She started a company called A Piece of Cake. She sells a piece of cake for $17 per slice. You can look it up, piece of cake. She now ships pieces of cake all around the world. She makes millions and millions of dollars from something that was already in her life. That's what I'm trying to get to you tonight. You're already there. It doesn't matter where you started. It didn't matter where I started as a ward of the state of Michigan. It didn't matter that no girls would talk to me. It didn't matter I was broke. It just mattered where I ended up. Because if I could have stayed there instead of look within my wealth, she started a company called A Piece of Cake. Because here's what happens. When you do that, now you can get access to capital. Now we can get you the money because we can trust you now. I'm not saying to go to the bank and get money. You can come to my company. We'd love to do business with you. We want more businesses in South Florida. I want to sow into businesses. The only way we make money is by finding people who have this financial structure. Because now when you get the money, because it's not about you having one restaurant. It's not about you having one garage. It's about you having 10. It's not about you owning one investment property. It's about you owning 10. Why? Now you're scaling. Now you have a system. And a system is where now you're making money while you're sleeping. How many know that's a good life? Now you're making money where you don't need to be there. Praise God for that. I'm just going to shout on that. Because I believe somebody's going to get this tonight. And so now that's what we want. That is the goal. It's for you to create something that doesn't involve your time. Because wealth is measured in time. You know how they measure wealth? If you quit your job today, how long can you keep the lights on in your home? How long can you keep your car? How long can you stay in your apartment? Some of y'all not. Some of y'all 1 week wealthy. That's your wealth. That's your wealth. You're bigger than that. You know why? Because it's on the inside of you. And so now, this framework now, this is what you need to be working on. This framework now is what you be sharing with your children. When you guys leave from here, that's what you need to be talking about. Let's go to the next one. The other way. Somebody said, I got it. All right, you're going the wrong way, brother. Wrong way. All right, so let's make this real deep. Let's talk about you now, and then we're going to open up for questions. I said some good flower stuff tonight, but I want to make it practical. How do I really build wealth? How do I really make money to pay my bills today and to make sure a year from now I'm good? And not even about your being good next year, but how can I make sure my children are good? But not only that, my grandchildren, how can I make sure they are good? You know why I'm dealing with this? Because that's what you think about. That's what you go to bed thinking about. Now let me give you a picture, a model on how to make sure you do this. This is you right here, this pretty girl right here. That's you. This is your purpose. This is your wealth. This is you right there. This is your life. Don't she look happy? Because she knows her purpose. See, when you know your purpose, the most dangerous person is a person who knows their purpose. That means no one can talk you out of it. Somebody can call you something, it just doesn't matter. That's why most of us don't like our jobs, especially when you know your purpose, because you know you're not supposed to be here. I'm just here temporarily, y'all. Y'all don't even really know. I ain't even really supposed to be here. Y'all happy about staying here in Lodabar in this situation. This is not success to me. I'm just here to learn what I can so I can do my purpose. That's her right here. That's why she's happy. But a vision by itself can't pay any bills. So you need 7 streams of income. This is how you're going to secure your life financially, even when someone stupid on Wall Street does something like stealing everybody's 401k. Because that's what happened in 2014. You know they stole your money, right? And they spent it. So we don't have any faith in any system other than the ones that you build. And this is a system that you need to build. So let's just say this is you. Well, let's go to somebody else. What do you think that you're supposed to be doing? Yeah, you. Uh-oh. I'm not going to embarrass you.
Well, I'm currently a therapist, and I think that I am supposed to like have my own agency and
Have your own agency. Okay. You're a therapist. So you're going to be Dr. who?
King.
Dr. King? Dr. King, I like that. You related to Martin Luther King? Probably so, she said. All right, this is Dr. King, the therapist. So she can build wealth. Now, what kind of therapist are you? Mental? You help people mental?
So currently I'm a substance abuse therapist. And
What kind of therapist?
substance abuse.
Substance abuse. Okay.
Working towards my mental health.
All right. I mean, you're in the right industry because there's a whole lot of substance abuse people around here. Now, what can she do? Because she can't just survive off of one paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck living is stressful. I don't care how much money you make. It's stressful. But, so you need 7 streams of income. The first thing you need to do, you can go to ChatGPT and you can write an ebook. Takes you about 10 minutes. What's the name of your book? You want me to give you a title right now to make you some money? How to Get Crazy People Off Drugs by Dr. King. That's your book. You know how much ebooks did last year? $17 billion online through Facebook, Instagram. How much money you make on social media you spend all your time on? What you should be talking about and posting is your purpose, your wealth. If you go to my page, Robert J. Watkins, you're going to see me financing people, me hanging out with entrepreneurs. You're going to see me inspiring people, man, to get business credit, to go do their business. You're going to see me up here on stages, man, and empowering people. Why? I don't care about, nobody cares about what kind of Cheerios I'm eating tonight. No, they want to know, man, how can I get involved in your life? Because I know you're changing people's lives. You want to be talking about your wealth. So now you've got one stream of income. I wrote a book called Never Chase a Paycheck Again. Sold over 150,000 copies and still selling. You go to Amazon.com. Why? It's still another $5,000 a month coming in. Do something one time and a lifetime of residual income. What else can you do? You can speak. There's a lot of places around here that people try to help people get off of drugs. Now, here's the thing. So you say, well, I'm Dr. King, and I can come in and I can help those people with substance abuse. I can help them get off of drugs. Will you allow me to come speak to them? Yes. We would love for you to come. What's your fee? Then most people say, well, I just come for free. I don't come for free. What's your fee? Let me give it to you right now, $500. For an hour. $500. Can you do that 2 times? That's $1,000 a month right there. Can you, when you go in there, sell your book? Absolutely. You got 20 people in there, 20 people got $10? Can you do that? Can you do that 3 or 4 times? Can you go online and get Facebook ads and talk about my new ebook, man? Download it right here. So now you're making $2,000 a month off of something that you love to do. It doesn't even feel like a job. And so now you got another stream of income. Now you open up your practice. You're in the real estate you're in the real estate business. So now you find an office and you partner with someone. I own an office building downtown Atlanta. They don't even know a black man owns it. And I had one partner. It was $4.5 million. And I was shaking going in because I believe God wanted me to own that property. Now, if I had an orphan mindset, I wouldn't even be a thought. Who am I? Who am I to own commercial real estate downtown Atlanta at the corner of Ralph McGill and Cortland and Peachtree? Who am I? So now my vision now is driving me to do something outside of my comfort zone. And this is where I want you to get to, out of your comfort zone into your courage zone. And so now, for me, I went and said, will you give me the contract to buy this building? Of course, they said, well, how much money you have? I learned a lesson. None of your business. Because it's none of their business. Well, do you got $4.5 million? If you give me the contract and give me 90 days, I'll come back with the money. And he messed around, gave me a contract. He said, how much money are you going to put down? All I had was $497 in the savings account. I said, I got $497. He said, I'll take it, man. Now I walk out of there $4.5 million richer. You know why? I'm being driven by my purpose. And on the last day, the 90th day, I thought I was going to lose the money, lose the contract. I thought everybody was going to laugh at me. And I met this guy sitting in McDonald's. His name was Rajiv Kalia. I said, man, are you interested in commercial real estate? I didn't know that he was the largest owner of residential property in the city of Atlanta. 3,000 units. Long story short, I told him what I was doing. He said, what's the address? I gave him the address. He said, I know that building. I tried to buy it. You did? I got the contract. We closed the deal. I still own it today. Give God some praise for that. But listen, if I didn't know my purpose, it never would have happened. Here's another stream of income. Now you can consult other people who want to be therapists. Can you make $500? You can do that. So now you can help people finance and to own real estate. You can mentor them, and you have businesses. The point is that you need 7 streams of income around your wealth. Because now riches and money and people are attracted to the wealth on the inside of you. But if you're insecure about it, then you'll never see it. Let's go to the next one. Then we're going to open it up. Let me stop right there. Anybody got any questions? What do you think about this, man? What do you think about this, John? Who's ready to build wealth? Let's answer some questions. Everybody got questions? All right. Do we have a microphone? Okay. Somebody said, I thought you was going to be up here telling jokes. This ain't the time for jokes.
I have a question. Hi, my name is Joanne.
Stand up. I didn't hear your name.
Joanne.
Joan.
All right, that's right.
Okay.
Yes. My question
I'm hard of hearing, y'all.
Is opening a living trust. This is what I want to get some insight on. When opening a living trust, say I have a policy, an insurance policy right now, that's about, say, $100,000. I put that policy into that living trust. Is that trust now valued at that money that I'm putting in with that insurance policy?
Yes, let me show you how to structure it right. Right? She's talking about a trust. Anybody ever heard of a blind trust? So the way to structure your life, boy, I wish I had a board here. Let's go back to this right here. Every one of these is an LLC. Every one of these is a business within itself. What I'm doing right now, I'm speaking. I'm speaking in my business. Robert Watkins Speaking, LLC. My real estate, LLC. 10 properties, they all have LLCs. My consulting company, Conquer Consulting, is an LLC. My finance company is an LLC, Conquer Finance. Conquer Mentoring, that the people pay me $49 a month for to mentor them spiritually. And then my businesses, they're all LLCs. So even my publishing company. So every one of these, all have separate income streams. They all have separate balance sheets, income statements. What am I doing? I'm building a portfolio. So all of the money that's coming in, I'm just managing these LLCs, and I put all of it in a holding company. So me and my family have Watkins Holdings. Nobody knows that. I don't market that. I don't put that on Facebook. That's not public. Watkins Holdings now is the holding company, because now 10% of this business goes to the holding company. 15% profits go to this holding company. 20% goes to the holding company. So all of these different LLCs, money is going to a holding company. And what's the relationship between the holding company and all these LLCs is a management agreement, and I put the entire thing in a blind trust. A blind trust, the government don't even know what's in it. That's why Donald Trump, Mitt Romney, all those rich guys, they all say, sue me because I own nothing, but I control everything. This is what you give to your children. It's not just insurance policy, which is your reasonable service. If you don't have an insurance, we need to have a slap service after you. This is what you leave for your children. And so the insurance, this blind trust, you give it to your children, you don't pay taxes on it. So when you go to heaven and your daughters and your son, they look into your will, it's like, wow, I see all this income coming in, and guess what? I don't have to pay taxes. I don't have to pay gift taxes, death taxes, income taxes. Why? It's in a blind trust. And this is what you give to your children and your children's children. Am I answering your question? So we're talking about structure. So when we talk about wealth, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to be working on right here. Are you guys getting this? Somebody say, I got it. Who gonna do this tonight? Somebody say, well, how do I find my purpose? Well, get my book, Never Chase a Paycheck Again, and ask God. And listen, you already know. You've just been ignoring it. Next question. Yes, ma'am. We need a microphone. It's coming. Are y'all having a good time tonight? Yes. Y'all learning anything tonight?
Yes. Just a quick question on the percentages. You said that you had certain percentages per area. So how did you determine that?
Well, it's up to you, right? You can go all the way down and say, my book is $20. I think it's $1, so it's $20. I used to know this number. And it's $6.55 to an expense. So that leaves what? $14 left over. And I think $1.50 from every book that I sell goes to my holding company. I don't even know what's in it. We just let it ride. So when they join my consulting, maybe some of you will join my consulting company. It's $3,500. $300 of that goes to the holding company to make sure that when I'm 80, I'm good. This is how I sent my daughter to college. My youngest daughter, Noelle, is a senior at Georgia Tech. She's over in Seoul, Korea right now. She speaks more Asian than she does English. She's a little dark girl over there walking around speaking Asian, and she's blended into the culture. Why? She got a rich daddy. Why? How did I do it? By this. So this is a reasonable service. So you can determine out of your consulting company, out of your real estate company, out of your mentoring, you go online, you start mentoring women. You're helping women to become whole, helping women to dress well. Whatever your image company is, you determine every time I get paid, and you can do this with a paycheck. It's going to my holding company. I only check my holding company once a year. Oh, okay, we're doing pretty good. Now, if I was involved in it, I'd be spending everything. But all of this is automated. It's automatic. So when you set this up, automatically, you're now building wealth. So here's who you're working for. You're working for yourself. You're working for your holding company. What I'm doing right now is working for my holding company. When I get back to Orlando, I'm working for my holding company. When I wake up on Saturday, I'm working for my holding company. This is what I'm working for, Watkins Holdings. Are you guys getting this? Somebody say, I got it, I got it, I got it. We got a little bit more time, sir? We got 2 more questions? You got a question? You've been raising your hand. What's your cute self? Oh, you're going to take the mic. Okay.
My name's Selena Hart, and when I want to grow up, I want to be a singer and a dance teacher, and maybe like a CEO, but I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, you want to be a CEO? Okay, you're looking at a CEO. So that is really good, because you could want to be like Cardi B. She could be. Ain't nothing wrong with Cardi B. I'm just saying. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being Cardi B. Let me say that. Ain't no wrong with being Cardi B. Don't be posting nothing against me. But this little girl said, I want to be a CEO. You're a leader. Just the mindset of that. You know how to be a CEO? First of all, you got to think like a CEO. Do you believe that you're a leader?
Yes.
You believe that people want to follow you?
Yes.
You believe that people want to give you money?
Yes.
Why do people want to give you money?
Because I'm
a wonderful, great teacher. You can give them something that they don't know that they have, right?
Yes.
So you're going to make a website?
Yes.
And what are you going to put on your website?
I'm going to put on my website that if you want to make a dream, come to me anytime.
Woo, that's a mission statement. You ever heard of a company called Amazon?
Yes.
You know that's just a website, right?
Yep.
You know something called affiliate marketing?
No.
It just means I have a book, and the guy who owns it, his name is Jeff Bezos. My book is $20. I said, hey, Jeff, if I put my book on your website, can I keep $10 and you keep $10? Guess what he said?
What?
He said, yes. Amazon is just a website. That's all it is. You know how much it's worth today? $10,000. Try more, like $1.5 trillion. Let's give God some praise for this new CEO. She is going to break out. This is your mom? Good job, mama. Great job. And you got her sitting front row, listen to a crazy guy talk about business. I don't think you're going to forget this moment. Here's a clue to know that what your purpose is. This is a clue to your wealth. What makes you angry in the world? What used to make me angry in the world is going to the mall and seeing guys with their pants, man, down by their ankles, trying to holler at women. That's a key to why I started my nonprofit called Kings and Priests, which grew now to over 17,000 men who pay me every month to help solve their problems. And it started with something that made me angry. What are 3 things that make you angry? That's a clue to your wealth. So it can't just be about money. So what is that? When you answer that question, then you invest into that. Now think about it. I don't think I answered your question. Dentists solve what kind of problems? Teeth problems. Psychiatrists solve what kind of problems? Mental problems. Preachers solve what kind of problems? Garbage men solve what kind of problems? So I submit to you that if you didn't solve any problems today, you didn't make any money today. And the only reason why you have a job, there's only one reason, don't get it twisted, Don't be deceived. You're there to solve a problem for the guy who owns the company.